myself Ankita Sharkar. Today we are discussing about the living world, which is the first chapter for class 11 students who are reading in CBSE and ICSE board. So let's start. In this chapter we are discussing about the 4 points that are what is living, what is biodiversity, the taxonomy and the systematics, and the last one is taxonomical aids. First, how we distinguish the living organism from the non-living things. Here are some pictures of living and non-living things are present. That's our human being, flowers, butterfly, dogs. These are living things. And books, flask, globes, pen or pencils, these are non-living things. But how we can distinguish these non-living things from the living things, or how we can distinguish the living things from non-living things? The living thing possesses three characteristics. What are these? The number one is all living organisms can grow. You can see the picture, that is a seeds. From the seeds a plant is growing. This is the egg of a butterfly, and from this we obtain the butterfly by these following life stages like caterpillar, etc. But the non-living things, that in the previous slide you can see the books, the pencils, which are non-living things because these are not growing. The second and most important characteristics of living organism is reproduction. The reproduction word is coming from two words. First one, re, that means again, and production means creations. Those organisms or those things which are capable to produce offsprings which is look alike their parents, this process is known as reproduction. In the living world, there are different types of reproductions are present. Some are sexual, some are asexual. These are the different types of reproductions. It is the regeneration process. What is regeneration process? If we cut a small piece from a species, it can grow and produce new organisms. So this process is known as regeneration. In Hydra, the process of reproduction is known as the budding. What is that? A tiny lump is appear from the mother body, and from it detach from the mother body and produce a new organisms. In sexual reproductions, the eggs, it is a gamete, female gamete, and the sperm, that is the male gamete, which are fused and produce the zygote. From this zygote, the new offsprings or the new living organisms are grown up, which is look like their parents. And sexual reproduction are taken places in higher organisms like human, elephant, etc. But the non-living organism cannot reproduce. That means the books, the pencil, which cannot produce organisms or things that is look like their parental generation. But that means the pencil cannot reproduce or cannot again grown up new pencil. So these are the main difference between the non-living and the living things. And the third one is the cellular organizations of the body. We know that the cell are the structural and functional unit of our body or the living body. What is that? That is all our bodies, all the living organisms are made up of cell. In the cell there are different type of metabolism are taken places like glycolysis, Krebs cycle, etc, that is electron transport chains, and from each of these we obtain energy, that is ATP, and these ATP are needed for our daily activities. It provides us energy. So in non-living things, this cell is not present in their body and it cannot generate any type of ATPs and cannot perform any physiological functions, that are breathing, eating, digestions. All these processes are not taken place in non-living things. But in living things, all these are taken places. We breathe, we eat, etc. And in our cell, the glycolysis, Krebs cycle, etc, all these type of cell metabolism are taken places, and from which we obtain ATP. So cell metabolism is another important point to distinguish the living from non-living. And the last one is the cell organization. That means our body is composed of cells, and these cells, when various types of or numerous number of cells are together to form the tissues. We know about tissues, that is the epithelium tissues, respiratory tissues, the digestive tissues. So the structural unit is cell, and when huge number of cells are together to form the tissues. When various tissues are together and produce, or organ can produce from various tissues, or clump of tissues produce organs like liver, heart. These are the organs. So in heart, the breathing tissues are present. In liver, the digestive tissues are present. So these are organs. And when multiple organs are together to form the organ systems like digestive system, reproductive system, respiratory system. So in all these systems, various types of organs, various types of tissues, various types of cells are present. But in non-living things, these cellular organization are not present. So we can distinguish by this way the living things from the non-living things. So what are the three main characteristics by which we can distinguish living from non-living? Number one is all living organisms can grow. Number two is reproductions, and number three is cellular organization. Now the next topic, that is biodiversity. Before going to biodiversity, we are discuss about what is species. What is species? Species is a group of living organisms consisting of similar individuals capable of exchanging genes and interbreeds. What is that? That means a small group of individuals that are possesses same genes, same characteristics, and they are capable of reproduce. So this is known as species. They also exchange their genes, like snails is a species, elephant is a species, fish is a species, birds are species, different types of plants are different species, dogs are species, cows are species. So these are species. That means they are capable of exchanging genes between them. But the elephant cannot reproduce with dogs. That means these are two different species. The human cannot reproduce with cows. So that means these are different species. What is species? The species are those which are capable of exchanging genes and interbreed. So it is the main point or main keywords, that is what is the definition of species. When you write, you have to written this one, that is exchanging gene and interbreeds. And then in our world there are 1.7 to 1.8 million types of species are present. Okay, then we come to the biodiversity. The word biodiversity comes from the two words, okay, that are bio and diversity. What is the meaning of bio? Bio means the biological species. So species and biological species are same things. In biology, we consider the species, that's why it is known as the biological species. But both are same. The species and the biological species are same things. And what is diversity? Diversity means the variations, the different types of species. So in our world, I have previously told you that in our world, that is 1.7 to 1.8 million of species are present in our world. So this number is known as the variations, that is the diversity. That means what is the biodiversity? Biodiversity means the variations of species. It is known as biodiversity. You can see the image, that is the how many types of, these are few examples, how many types of species are present in our earth. That is, these are plant species, these are snails, this is kind of crabs, this is birds, this is fish, this is tortoise, this is tiger, this is snakes, this is panda, this is chimpanzee. It is the extinct species, that is mammoth. So our next is nomenclature. Next topic is nomenclature. What is nomenclature? Simple nomenclature means giving name. So we have already discussed that in our earth there are 1.7 to 1.8 million types of species as present. Without naming those, we cannot identify that species. So, or we cannot standardize their naming. We cannot identify that. If we cannot standardize their naming, then we cannot identify them. So naming is very important. And what is naming? Naming is giving a name, and it is known as the nomenclature. When nomenclature is possible? When after identifications of organisms, only possible after identification of that organism, you can only giving their name or nomenclate the species. So there are different institutes are present which giving the name of that organism, that is ICBN. ICBN for plants, it gives names to the plants. The full form of ICBN is International Codes for Botanical Nomenclature, that is ICBN. It gives the names to the plant species. And the next one is the International Codes for Zoological Nomenclature, that is ICZN. It gives names to the animal species. These the rules. There are some rules are present when we nomenclate any species. This is known as the rules of nomenclature. Okay. So there are 4 points are present. Number 1, number 2, number 3 and number 4. What is first one? First one is each name has 2 components, that is generic name and the specific epithets. Okay. So each species have 2 names, or each species has 2 names, that are number 1 is generic name and number 2 is specific epithets or the species name. Both are same. So in this nomenclature, the two different names are used. That's why this nomenclature is known as binomial nomenclature. Okay, so why this nomenclature is known as binomial nomenclature? Because in this nomenclature, the two names are used. First one is the generic name, and the second one is the epithet, specific epithets or the species name. So that's why it is known as binomial nomenclature. The second point is all the biological names are generally in Latin. When we give or when we nomenclate any species, then it is always in Latin. Okay, the third one is when we write the name by handwriting, or when we handwritten those name, these are separately underlined, which is very very important. If we do not underline it, then it is do not denoted the scientific name, or the do not follow the rules of the nomenclature. So when we written by our hand, when we written the names of that organisms by hand, it should underline separately. And another one is when we print those names, then it is written in italics. So it printed in italics. When we print, then we use the italics one, because it indicates the Latin origin. And the last one is the specific generic epithets, or the genus names start with capital letters, and the specific epithets or the species name is start with small letter. This is the scientific name of human, that is Homo sapiens. So here Homo is the genus name and sapiens is the species name. So Homo, the first word of Homo, that is H, that is written in capital, and the first word of the first letter of the species name, that is sapiens, which is written in small letter. It is, you can see that it is written in italics. Why? Because I typed it, that's why it is written in italics. Okay, and when we written by our hand, then it is written in normal letter, and then after that we should underline separately, not this way. We underline like this way. Another one, that is when we written the another things, that nomenclature system was first given by the scientist, that is Carolus Linnaeus. Okay, which is very important. Who invented the nomenclature system? Nomenclature system was invented by the Carolus Linnaeus. And when we use the scientist name in those scientific name, so this is written in this way, that is Mangifera indica, and after that we written the scientist name in short abbreviation forms, that is Mangifera indica, and this name was provided Carolus Linnaeus, so it is written in Lin. Next topic is taxonomy and systematics. Before going to taxonomy and systematics, we have to understand some terminology, that's our classification, taxonomic categories, taxonomic hierarchy, taxon. We have to understand what are these. So first the classification. Classification is, what is classification? Classification means to classify anything in living world or in species. How we classify them? By observing their external character, easily visible external character or easily observable characters, by which we can classify the species. Or and in taxonomy we classify species by this way, that is the easily observable characteristics. Example, what are example? That is plants, animal. We can easily classify them by their external distinguishable characters. Plants are not same with animals. The external characters of plants are not same with animals. So this way we can distinguish or we can classify plant from animal. The second one is the taxonomic categories. What are taxonomic categories? So first, classification is not a, after classification these steps is taken place, that is taxonomic categories. So classification is not a single step. In classification there are multiple steps are present. Okay. So all these, and when we arrange the species, these are certain steps are present in taxonomy. These every steps is known as the, or these every steps represents rank or category, and in plural this category is known as categories. So various steps are present, various rank are present, that's why it is known as taxonomic category. Okay. What are the categories that present in taxonomy? That are kingdom, phylum or division, phylum in case of animal and division in case of plants. Second one, class. Third one, order. Fourth one, family. Fifth one, genus. And sixth one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 categories are present in taxonomy. First one, kingdom. Second one, phylum. Phylum in case of animal and division in case of plant. Third one, class. Fourth one, order. Fifth one, family. Sixth one, genus. And the last one is species. What is taxonomy hierarchy? Taxonomy hierarchy is when we arrange these categories, all of these 7 categories in a particular arrangement, then it is known as the taxonomic hierarchy. Okay. And what is taxa? The each small categories is known as taxa. That means the phylum is a taxa, kingdom is a taxa, class is a taxa, order is a taxa, family is a taxa, genus is a taxa, species is a taxa. Although all are these taxa. Taxa in plural and taxon is singular. So you can also consider it as taxon. When we single used these all categories, then you have to written taxon, or when it is in plural it is known as taxa. So each taxa is arranged in a particular way. This is known as the taxonomical hierarchy, and this is the arrangements of taxonomical hierarchy. That is first one, kingdom. You can read either ascending order or the descending order. Okay. This picture is in descending order. That is first one phylum, then first one kingdom, then phylum, then class, then order, then family, then genus, then species. So this is the descending order. From here we go the upward. In type of pyramids, any types of pyramid, this is a pyramid. This is, so when we use any pyramid, we start from below to top. So it is the descending order. And what is ascending order? Ascending order means species, species to genus, genus to family, family to order, order to class, class to phylum or division, and phylum or division to kingdom. So these are ascending order. We start from species, which is the lowest one, and we end the kingdom, which is the highest one. But this is the descending order. Why? We start from kingdom, that is the largest one, and we end species, that is the small one. What is taxonomy? What is taxonomy? Taxonomy is done by the based on characteristics of all living organisms. It is known as the taxonomy. In taxonomy, external characters, internal characters, the structures of cells, developmental process, everything are taken, everything is under the taxonomy. Okay, that what in the simple word, what is taxonomy? Taxonomy is to characterize every living organisms, or classify every living organisms by their all characters, which can be external, internal, developmental process, cell structure, everything. This is known as taxonomy. And what is systematics? Before going that, the systematic word is coming from the Latin word systema, which means the systematic arrangement. So what is systematic? Systematic word is come from systema, the word, Latin word, which is Latin in origin, and it means the systematic arrangement. We previously discussed that when we classify any species, or it is classified in a particular manner, or when we arrange the each taxon, it is arranged in a particular manner. So this is known as the systematics. Where we arrange them in a particular manner, this is known as the systematics. Let's explain the each taxon that are present in taxonomy. First one, species. What is species? I have already discussed that species are the small groups of living things which possesses more or less same characteristics and capable of exchange genes. So what are species? Species are here the Ficus bengalensis, or this is the scientific name of banyan tree. That's why it is written in italics. It is a species. Pigeon. The scientific name of pigeon is Columba livia. So denote their Latin origin, it is typed in italics. So this, what is species? Species is the smallest unit of the taxonomic hierarchy classification, where a living group of organisms are possesses and which have same characteristics and have and reproduced or exchange the genes or breed. The second one is the next after species, that is genus. What is genus? When different types of species are different types of related species comprises the genus. But genus are consist with different types of species. Like here there is an example, that is Solanum nigrum. Solanum ni, no, Solanum nigrum is also a species. Here we use the example, that is Solana melongena. Solanum melongena, which is the scientific name of eggplant. The Solanum tuberosum, which is the scientific name of potato. Okay, so here the Solanum melongena, the Solanum tuberosum, which are different species, but they possesses a same genus, that is Solanum. The in case of plant and in case of animals, there is also different types of genuses present. Here this is the genus is Panthera. In this genus Panthera, the species lion is present. The scientific name of lion is Panthera leo, and tiger is also present in this genus, that is Panthera. What is the scientific name of Panthera? What is the scientific name of tiger? The scientific name of tiger is Panthera tigris. So both are in a single genus, that is Panthera. The next taxon is family. When different genus are different types of different related genus with less similarities are possesses in the family. What is that? That is genera or genus. Genus is singular number and genera is plural number. So here we use 3 genus, that why it is genera. But genus and genera are both same. We use genus in singular number and we use genera in plural. So here 3 genus or genera: Solanum, Petunia and Datura are placed in the family, that is Solanaceae. That means Solanaceae is comprises of 3 genus, that is Solanum, Petunia and Datura. Okay, and another important point, when in the family, in case of plants, the family are classified according to their vegetative and reproductive properties or reproductive features. And let's take an example about animals. The genus Panthera. Genus Panthera and genus Felis. Panthera means where the dog, lion, tiger are present, and Felis family, the cat family, where every types of cats are present. They are both in the same family, that is Felidae. The dog are in the Canidae family. Okay, these are different types of cat families. First one, in case of plants, there are Solanaceae, Rosaceae. These are different types of families are present in plant, and in animal there is also different families are present. First one Felidae, second one Canidae. Okay, and every family comprises of different genus. The next one is order. This is a higher steps or higher category of families. This is higher than family. the higher category of the family. Order is comprises of different families. That's are in case of plants, the convolvulaceae, the solanaceae are in same order, that is Polymoniales. What is the name of the order? That is Polymoniales. And Polymoniales are comprises of two families, that is Convolvulaceae and Solanaceae. Convolvulaceae and Solanaceae are the two different orders of Polymoniales. Okay. In case of animals, the carnivore, the order carnivore is comprises of different families, that are Felidae, Canidae. Okay. The next one is class. When different types of orders are come closer, then it is denoted the class. The order Polymoniales, the order Sapindales, these are in the same class, that is Dicotyledone. Dicotyledons is also, you can say that means Dicotyledone are comprises of two order, that is Polymoniales and Sapindales. Okay. The animals is also have some order, that is the order Primata. Primata is comprises of monkey, gorilla, gibbon, etc. This is the class Mammalia. Along with, in case of animal, the order Primata is comprises of monkey, gorilla, gibbon. The class Mammalia, where we possesses the human being, the others like human beings, these are with same order. These are in same order, that is order Carnivora. Okay. The next taxon is the phylum, or the phylum in case of animal and division in case of plants. When different type of classes are comprises, the phylum or division is comprises of different types of classes, that is animal like fish, amphibia, reptiles, birds, mammals are in the same phylum, that is Chordata. Phylum is Chordata, and in Chordata different type of classes like fish, amphibia, reptiles, birds, mammals are possesses. In case of plants, the division Angiospermy is comprises of different classes, and the characteristics of all those classes are they are giving flowers. And the next highest category of the taxonomical hierarchy arrangement, that is kingdom. It is the highest. When different types of phylums are possesses in this kingdom, that is in the two kingdoms are present, that is one is Plantae and the second one is Animalia. Kingdom Plantae and Kingdom Animalia. The kingdom Animalia is comprises of all the animals that are present in the earth, and the kingdom Plantae possesses all the plants that are present in our earth. Okay, this is the way how we written the systematic positions or the systematic hierarchy of an or the systematic resume of an organism. It is cycles. Cycles की kingdom Plantae. Division Cycadophyta. Class Cycadellis. Order Cycadelius. Family Cycadaceae. Genus Cycas. Species Cycas revoluta. Okay. The next mango. Kingdom Plantae. Division Angiosperm. Class Dicotyledone. Order Spinadels. Family Anacardiaceae. Genus Mangifera. Species Mangifera indica. These are the plant species or the kingdom Plantae. These are the animal species or kingdom Animalia. That is, you can see that kingdom Animalia, phylum Arthropoda, class Insecta, order Diptera, family Musidae, genus Musa, species Musa domestica. The human being. Kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Mammalia, order Primata, family Hominidae, genus Homo, species Homo sapiens. The last topic of today is what is taxonomical aid or the taxonomy. What is taxonomy? There are different types of taxonomical aids are present, that is botanical garden, herbarium, monogram, museum, zoological parks, keys, flora, manual, all of these are taxonomical aids. So what is the taxonomical aid? To study the taxonomy, we have to correctly identify, classify every organism is necessary. And to identify correctly, we have some raw documents. And these are the different types how we preserve the documents to understand or to identify the each organism and giving name and arrange them in a particular order. So that's why taxonomical aids is very much important. And there are different types of taxonomical aids are present, that is botanical garden, manual, flora, keys, zoological park, museum, monogram, herbarium, all of these are different types of taxonomical aids. So here we explain some of them which are in your syllabus. First one, herbarium. What is herbarium? Herbarium is to collect or to store the dried plant is known as the herbarium. What is botanical garden? One thing, in herbarium, clean sheets are taken places and where we praised the dried plant and we written the name, the botanical name, the family, the name of the collector, everything are noted in herbarium sheet and in herbarium, and every sheet is known as the herbarium sheet. The next one is the botanical garden. We know what is botanical garden. Botanical garden is a place where different types of living plant species are or plant species are present. And by seeing them we can easily identify them. And in botanical garden, all these plant species, all those, okay, in botanical garden herbarium is also present, and it is arranged in a particular order. The next the next it is zoological park. The zoological park and the botanical garden are same things. In botanical garden, only plant species are stored, living plant species and non-living plant species also. But in zoological park, only the animal species are stored, which can be living, or which also non-living also. And in zoological park, all the animals are taken care by the human being. And the next one is museum. What is museum? Museum are generally educational institutes where plants, animals, both are preserved in different way. Animals are preserved in jars with some chemicals. Plant species are preserved like herbariums, shade, or various types of s- skeletons, different types of plant, different types of body parts. Everything are stored in museum, so we can easily identify the living organisms and classify them and giving the name. So museum is also very important taxonomical aid. The last taxonomical aid is the key. What is key? Key is the identifications of plant and animal simultaneously by based on their similarities and dissimilarities. And another things, the keys are based on constructing characteristics that are generally in pair, and it is known as the couplets. Thanks to all of you. If you want to take live classes, then you can